안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 에미입니다. Hello Internet. So this is chapter 4 of Dan Howell's Basically I'm Gay reaction.
Okay, cool story, bro. It's answer time. What's your answer? Would you like a fuck? Here's the thing. You want me to talk candidly about sexuality as if it's something that I understand? I don't know what it is, why it is. Turns out no one knows. I've been sitting here for years waiting for scientists to just work it out. Like, bleep bloop. Oh, this is why and exactly how it's different for people. There we go. Thinking I shouldn't run off my mouth on the internet in case my theories and opinions on varying gayness get debunked next week. Well, I waited long enough and it didn't happen. Science, you fucked up. You let me down. And I fully expect to have to delete this video in 2 weeks when you find out all the answers suddenly. Thanks a bunch. What makes someone gay, or straight, or all the things in between? What the ever-loving fuck is gender about? This is a mess. People want you to give them a word because that's how humans communicate. With words that have meanings, which is why our disgusting species is impatient, stupid, and obsessed with labels. And this applies to everything. Sexuality, gender, political identity, what obscure genre of synthwave you listen to. People just want a label that represents something they understand, so they already know how to feel about you and don't have to bother thinking.
No, you're a feminist. Well, I don't need to know anything more.
Oh, you're a leftist.
You're a K-pop fan. If people just want to find a way to disagree with you or dislike you, they can refer to the label and turn off their brains. Hey, what does my label say? The issue is, especially when we start talking about the writhing mass of confusion and suffering that is sexual and gender identity, the limits of language and specific terminology become a big problem. What does being gay mean? You never thought about a boob once? What does being a man mean? You want to be an emotionless rock rubbing raw steaks against your biceps? It's not like humanity is all in agreement right now. I don't like the stereotypes and drama that come with all this terminology, so I'm just not going to use it. Thing is, gender identity isn't my issue. I feel comfortable with the identity that I've had my whole life. Dan. A tall boy from England. But being a man means nothing to me. I wouldn't feel uncomfortable wearing makeup or a sickening pair of heels. Though I can't even draw in a straight line, so that would be a disaster. Also, is anyone really comfortable wearing heels? Icons of masculinity aren't really a big part of my life. Might as well call me a fucking formless blob. That sounds more relatable. Shout out to all my formless blobs out there. Rise up! I don't have to do anything or be anything, and I personally wouldn't feel offended if I wasn't referred to as a he. Well, she's feeling hungry today. Stop fucking judging me, Susan. I'm sad, and I'm gonna eat this whole damn cake whether you like it or not. But anyone that has this don't really care attitude about their gender identity is in a way privileged, because some people, especially trans, care a lot about their gender identity and using the correct pronouns, which other people should respect. Likewise with sexuality. Whilst, to me, the endlessly increasing list of tribes and flags being flown is a bit daunting and confusing and personally stresses me out because I almost find it constrictive, some people like it, because if your feelings are confusing and then you look at a word that represents something and go, wow, that me. It can help you realise you're valid and find a community, and that's great. There is so much controversy around this issue and others, but if we all just calm down, respect each other's experiences, and try to just be nice, reasonable people, which is a lot to ask, let's be real, it's quite simple. If you want to use language to express your honest feelings and identity, that's great, and other people should respect what you say. Likewise, if you hate labels and you just want to be a formless blob, that's fine too. No one should force you. The only thing that isn't cool is telling other people what they should or should not identify as, because that ain't your problem or your business. Bye. This was one of the things that held me back from talking about this for years. Shit's confusing, man. Let's just go back to cellular reproduction by mitosis. So I don't really have to be specific. Two people that I really look up to and respect, Harry Styles and Janelle Monáe, both famously say that they don't feel the need to label it, which, to be honest, is how I feel and is perfectly okay. But I get it. For me, you want a word. That's hard though. I'm a really annoying guy. I feel uncertain specifying my sexuality in the same way I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. Who the fuck am I to say whether God does or doesn't exist? I don't know shit about shit, and neither does anyone else. I mean, I think it's unlikely in the same way I know I like dick, but I'm not going to pretend to have a definite answer here. Looking at my public statements is inconsistent and confusing. Looking at my personal track record through life is super confusing. And looking at the void inside my soul threatening to crush the entire universe with the force of its event horizon of misery and melodrama. Well, fuck, let's close that shit up. One thing's for sure, whatever heterosexual is, I ain't it. Really, if you ask me, I don't think anyone's totally straight. I think there's a lot of social and emotional issues getting in the way of yet to be understood feelings of attraction that can be very flexible. And trust me, I've known a lot of straight guys until a couple of drinks, some deep conversation and lingering eye contact, and suddenly they just start leaning in. What does that make them? And am I totally gay? No. Am I slightly more gay, or is it just easier for gays to hook up with each other because of societal norms? It's not like the signs for male and female bathrooms are what I'm attracted to. I don't care what flesh organ you have between your legs, what your hair's like, if you're covered in it, or a fucking beluga whale. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not picky. I'm easy. So am I bi, or pan, or poly? Well, now we're just back in a clusterfuck of defining language, and I'm confused and sad and horny. This is why I personally love the word queer. I understand that some people don't, as it is a slur, but as someone that's been the target of it several times throughout my life, I'm up for some reclamation. It's like recycling. The definition makes sense, because until society is equal with all sexual and gender identities, it is literally strange from a conventional viewpoint. Plus, it's better than a super long acronym, it's inclusive of everyone, and therefore great for formless blogs. There we go, an identity I feel comfortable with. A highly strung, depressed queer praying for a giant meteor to hurry up and finally eradicate humanity. LMAO. Yeet! But to come full circle, I know that even today, deep in my heart, the word gay scares me. Because that's how I've been conditioned my whole life. So you know what? Fuck the literal definition and the scientific definition and what everyone thinks. I finally have to just confront and accept this. I'm gay. Oh look, didn't spontaneously fucking combust. Well, there we go. That was a lot of stress about nothing, wasn't it? Bloody hell. So yep, I'm here, I'm queer, and don't worry, I'm still filled with existential fear.
Nice.
We're queer, we're filled with existential fear.
Nice. I like that. I love that. Okay, I'm joining these two together, but oh, I love that. And I agree. Like, if people want to put a label on it and they ask you to respect that and call them that name or pronoun, you better do it. Like, it is not in your right to say no. If these people are in your life, even if they're not, even if they're just like on the street, who are you to say no, stuff you. You look like a man, I'm gonna call you him, he, his. Who are you to say that? Who are you to say, oh, you look like a woman, so I'm gonna call you she, her. In the spirit of Dan, fuck you. I don't swear a lot on my channel, because I don't feel like I want to do that on the internet, but fuck you. Like, honestly, it's not your life. Is it really gonna, like, inconvenience you so freaking much to respect someone? If so, get the fuck out. Let's just move on. Chapter 5.
Even though I'm at this current place, there is still so much I'm afraid of, and this has taken months to make because of that. Telling my family was a big fear. I have problems connecting with them emotionally because reasons. So I only came out to them this month, and if it didn't go well, as I'm now the independent adult that I fought so hard to be, I was ready to cut them off like the bottom of a sweater turning into a seasonal crop. But I didn't have to, love you. I didn't think they'd reject me these days, but coming out is still a surprise. It changes things, and I'm a pretty awkward person generally, but the idea of just dropping this in conversation in front of them all terrified me. And I tried several times this year to do it, but I just couldn't. So you know how I finally came out to my family? Email. Yup, I literally just sent them an email saying, and I quote, "Hello,
It's
gang. I've been
2019.
meaning to talk to you all for a while. Something quite important that should be disclosed at some point. I thought I would around Christmas, then Mum's birthday, then last Easter Sunday, etc. But every time I meant to, I either felt like I would ruin the mood of the day, or I just felt awkward and didn't want to. So I decided just to email you all instead, which is really inappropriate and just weird, but that somehow seems appropriate for me, and at least I'll finally just say it. Basically, I'm gay." Yep, it was just getting ridiculous, so I thought screw it, and hey, it worked. Turns out my remaining family, pretty chill bunch of people. Even my Christian grandma said this: "We love you for being you. It must be a great relief to finally acknowledge who you are. Popsy and I just want you to be happy. People are born as they are and have no say in it. I hope that now you will feel free to live your life as you want with no pretense." Aww.
Oh, Grandma.
Don't forget the iPad. Yes, I said I'd give her my old iPad. She mainly cares about that, I think. Wasn't so sure when I was 17, but it went well now, and I know that makes me lucky, but hey, it shows that times change. As for the other people in my life, obviously all the friends I have now are cool. If anyone in my life I've ever known isn't cool with it, then I don't care. And sure, here online there might be a few
Good for
incredibly
you.
lost bigots following me, or just some classic trolls who I think should get fucked. No, like, literally,
Yes.
I think you should try it. You'll probably enjoy it and you might learn something about yourself. Inevitably, some of you watching this might have a weird reaction if you just feel like it was a shock, or you feel hurt that I kept it from you, but I feel like I explained myself reasonably here, and going forward, I can't have any space for that, sorry. I've come to terms with who I am, and now you have to too, ha. Funnily enough, straight up homophobia is probably the one thing I'm not that afraid of, because I just don't agree, so it doesn't hold much emotional power over me, but you bet I'm opening myself up to all new kinds of in real life and international discrimination now, which is fun. But one of the other big fears holding me back was, honestly, that I wouldn't be accepted by the community. I know that it's a big pride flag covering a lot of ground, and even the idea of it, and certainly most of it, is amazing. But there is a lot of drama within it right now, especially on the internet. You've got grinder gays arguing about how manly gays should be, bis getting ignored, trans people, especially of colour, not being historically appreciated, ace-phobia, fucking swerfs and turfs, no thank you. So even though they're people, I know some of them will have problems with something. And even then, just seeing such a loud and proud, strong and opinionated group of people celebrating something just intimidates a small introvert such as myself. And in my mind, if these people don't accept me because I'm not being definitive enough, or I took too long, then I almost feel like I'll be alone all over again. And this is a fear that a lot of people have, honestly. But I'm a nice guy, and I'm trying my best, so you better be welcoming, you bunch of fucking queers. And obviously, with the topic of sexuality, it doesn't matter where we are or how far you think we've come. By merely mentioning it, I will be opening up a primordial box of bullshit, which will include every single stupid argument and question since the dawn of time.
It's not natural.
There's gay animals.
Adam and Steve.
That's based on a story, and the protagonist that arrives later probably doesn't agree with you.
Why can't we have straight pride?
I could spend 10 hours on all the classic crap and people would still be asking the same things. This being posted on the internet, my hopes are so incredibly low. Lower than my self-esteem. Wow, that is unhealthy. I need to stop doing that. This video is about internalized depression and the problems of language. I'm not here to pontificate on every topic tangentially related to the entire concept of gayness. There's other humans and all the time in the world left for that. The time in the world, coincidentally, being not much longer. Climate change, Lamau. But I had to tell my story so people would understand me and these things. Why coming out is still a big deal, because queer people are often invisible and suffering until they have to do it. Some people grow up in supportive environments and it's a positive experience, but more likely, especially around the world outside of the big cities, it isn't. This is not a fight that is anywhere near over. Even in Britain today, people are debating whether children should be taught to be accepting of sexual and gender identity in school. Queer people exist. Choosing not to accept them is not an option. To anyone watching this that isn't out, it's okay. You're okay. You were born this way, it's right, and anyone that has a problem with it is wrong. Based on your circumstance, you might not feel ready to tell people yet, or that it's safe, and that's fine too. Just know that living your truth with pride is the way to be happy. You are valid, it gets so much better, and the future is clear. It's pretty queer.
Aww.
So there we go. Now I can proceed authentically in my life with full disclosure. Cute mutuals know to slide into the DMs, and you can all fuck off and leave me alone. Bye.
That was so good. I love him. I love him so much. That's insane. I feel closer to him. I feel like I'm really his friend that he's opened up to, and that makes me really happy. And honestly, yeah, so much to say, and yet I don't know what to say. There's so much to say to that, about that, but there's also like nothing to say. He said everything, poured out his heart, his soul. He's told his story, and everyone needs to accept that or fuck off. Like, honestly, I know this like is thrown around so much where it's just like, I'm so proud of you for coming out, I'm so proud of you, but like, I'm proud of the fact that he is at a point in his life that he can open up and tell people. And honestly, I agree with what he was saying about, oh, people saying, oh, I knew. Fuck off, you didn't know. It's like when Conor Francois came out, he was like, no, you didn't know, you assumed. You didn't know because I didn't tell you. And again, with stereotypes, it's so shit and stupid. I feel very passionate about this. I have a lot of friends, family, people in my life who aren't heterosexual, and every single one of them in my life who have come out to me, it's been extremely hard and they've been afraid, and I understand it's a scary thing to have to say, and it shouldn't be a thing that you have to say. You don't see me making a video saying my coming out story, hey guys, I'm straight. Like, no, you don't see that. So why should people have to do that when they're not straight? They shouldn't have to. And I think it's stupid that they have to, or they feel like they have to, or society says you need to do this in this day and age with YouTube and everything. Like, you need to come out so people know. No one needs to know if you don't want them to know. And it's your life. Live your life, be who you are. And if people don't accept you, then they can just get stuffed. They can go away. They don't deserve you in their life. They don't deserve you. There are so many people in the world who will accept you, and you need to find those people. You are never, ever, ever, no one is ever alone. No one is alone. It may feel like that. I've been through stages in my life where I've felt completely alone when I'm surrounded by people. No matter what the situation is that you're in, if you feel alone, you need to know that you're not. You're not alone. People love you, even if it seems like everyone around you just has turned their back on you. I know it's cheesy, and it is 1000% true for me that I am here for you. I will accept you. I will fight for you. I do this with everyone in my life. I'm known as like the mum of all of my friends groups. And even at work, some of the girls call me mum. Like, it's just, I'm very protective of everyone. If I see or hear anything, I will fight to the death for anyone. I won't do it for myself, but I will do it for literally everyone else, everyone and anyone else. This video should spark conversation. Again, as cheesy as it sounds, I am proud of Dan that he's opened up, and he's done this in such a Dan Howell, Dan is not on fire way. So true to himself, which makes me so happy and proud. He's never ever gonna say this or see these videos, but if you are a fan of him, tell him that you love him, tell him that I love him, and I'm just so filled with love right now. And thank you so much for watching these videos. If you have a different opinion to me or anything like that, feel free to voice your opinion, be true to yourself, but do it in a constructive way. And if I do see any horrible, mean, anything, comments like that, I will warn you and delete it and go mama bear on your ass. If you did enjoy this video, press the like button, leave me some comments down below, share this on social media if you would like to. All of my social media links are down below, so go check me out, follow me, friend me on all of those. That is it for this video, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Kirby face!